The Mennonite way of life is filled with customs that can seem surprising to those outside the community. Grounded in simplicity, modesty, and faith, Mennonites follow a set of guidelines that shape their daily lives in ways that might be unexpected. Here's an in-depth look at 10 things Mennonites traditionally avoid and the values that underpin each choice. For many Mennonites, technology is used selectively and only when it aligns with their values. In communities that follow old-order Mennonite practices, you'll rarely see cell phones, computers, or other modern gadgets. These communities often view technology as a distraction that can lead to worldly temptations or undermine the closeness of family and community life. By limiting their use of technology, they stay grounded in the present, fostering strong personal connections and maintaining the integrity of their faith-driven lifestyles. In an age where self-promotion is practically a norm, Mennonites are notable for their humility. Mennonites are raised to avoid drawing attention to themselves, as humility is deeply woven into their spiritual beliefs. You won't see Mennonites flaunting their accomplishments, showing off on social media, or boasting about personal success. Instead, they focus on collective accomplishments, seeing individual glory as something that can foster pride, a feeling that's at odds with their core values. Their actions emphasize that life's purpose is to serve others and honor God, rather than to seek recognition for oneself. Mennonite clothing choices are often characterized by modesty and simplicity. Clothing is functional and conservative, designed to prevent vanity and promote a sense of uniformity within the community. Bright colors, extravagant styles, and brand names are typically avoided. This choice reflects the Mennonite belief in separating themselves from worldly desires and avoiding materialism. Their clothing style is less about restricting individual expression and more about uniting the community under shared values of humility and moderation. For Mennonites, Sundays are sacred, devoted entirely to rest, worship, and family. Mennonites refrain from work, errands, or any secular activities on this day, viewing it as an opportunity to connect spiritually with God and loved ones. From the smallest child to the oldest elder, everyone in the community respects this day of rest. It's a chance to step away from the busyness of life, and it reinforces their commitment to a rhythm that values spiritual reflection as much as labor. Mennonites live by a principle that discourages the accumulation of material goods. The Mennonite perspective on possessions is that they should be practical and purposeful, not excessive or indulgent. You won't find Mennonite homes cluttered with the latest gadgets, trinkets, or trendy decor. By avoiding unnecessary items, they reduce distractions, allowing for a simpler, more purposeful life that aligns with their values. Their homes are often adorned with handcrafted items and essentials, reflecting a life that is content with just enough. As part of their Anabaptist roots, Mennonites hold a long-standing commitment to pacifism. Refusing military service or any involvement in violence is a deeply ingrained belief for Mennonites, who view life as sacred and believe that conflict should be resolved peacefully. During times of war, many Mennonites have chosen alternative ways to serve, such as engaging in humanitarian work or helping as conscientious objectors in non-violent roles. They see pacifism as a form of faithfulness, emphasizing forgiveness, understanding, and compassion over confrontation. For Mennonites, faith isn't reserved solely for church services or religious ceremonies. It's woven into every aspect of life. Work, family life, and community interactions are all seen as extensions of their devotion. This belief means that faith guides decisions about everything from career choices to raising children and social interactions. They avoid anything that would compartmentalize their religious beliefs, holding instead that a true commitment to God permeates every part of one's life. Their daily actions reflect a constant mindfulness of faith, ethics, and spiritual purpose. In most Mennonite communities, alcohol and recreational drugs are avoided, as they're seen as temptations that could lead to loss of control or moral compromise. They believe that staying sober allows them to make wise decisions and act with integrity. This self-discipline extends beyond personal choices, as they often discourage others in their community from drinking as well. By abstaining, they promote a lifestyle of clear-mindedness, safety, and mutual respect, where every member remains responsible and fully present. Mennonites believe strongly in the principle of mutual aid, which encourages helping others before amassing personal wealth. Within many Mennonite communities, financial success isn't measured by how much one has individually, but by the collective well-being of the group. They often pool resources, contribute to communal needs, and support those in hardship. For them, true wealth is found in relationships and shared values, not in the amount of money or property one possesses. This approach fosters a community that is rich in trust, support, and generosity. Entertainment in Mennonite culture is selected with care, focusing on activities that align with their values. Violent movies, secular music, or literature that promotes immoral behavior are usually avoided. Instead, they often enjoy hobbies that promote family bonding, creativity, and learning, like singing hymns, storytelling, or engaging in outdoor activities. Mennonites avoid secular or overly commercial entertainment, believing that it can pull one's focus away from meaningful relationships and lead to a lifestyle that values excitement over personal growth. Each of these choices speaks to a broader philosophy Mennonites hold, a belief in living a life of intention, simplicity, and service. Every never on this list isn't just a rule or a restriction, but a commitment to a life that honors their faith, values, and community. By abstaining from certain things, Mennonites create a space for deeper relationships, inner peace, and a connection to God that is undistracted by the noise of the modern world. For the Mennonites, these practices aren't sacrifices, they're seen as the path to a more meaningful life. The boundaries they set are meant to protect not only their faith, but the strong sense of togetherness and purpose that defines their way of life. These rules, while strict by many standards, foster a culture that values moderation, loyalty, and a profound dedication to both God and community, making the Mennonite way a compelling example of simple, intentional living. For Mennonites, their approach to technology is part of a broader philosophy called Gelassenheit, a German term that translates roughly to yieldedness or submission. This philosophy prioritizes submission to God's will and the idea of living simply and humbly. Technology, particularly forms that connect people to the outside world in rapid or potentially distracting ways, can introduce influences that disrupt this tranquility and simplicity. By limiting their exposure to the noise of the internet, social media, and popular culture, Mennonites maintain an environment where conversations are richer, family time is more intimate, and distractions are minimal. Within Mennonite communities, some technology is allowed, like tractors or simple tools, but these are carefully considered. Any technological advancement is evaluated based on whether it serves the community or detracts from it. If a technology fosters dependency, consumerism, or isolation, it is likely to be avoided. This conscious approach is part of why Mennonites are able to retain such strong social cohesion, even in a world that's rapidly changing around them. The Mennonite view of wealth is closely tied to their values of equality and communal support. Rather than accumulating wealth for personal gain, many Mennonites see financial resources as a means to help others in the community. Mutual aid practices include sharing labor, resources, and financial support, especially during times of crisis, such as natural disasters or economic hardship. By sharing their wealth, Mennonites reinforce their collective strength and ensure that no one is left vulnerable. It's a practice that not only ensures everyone's well-being, but also instills a sense of responsibility toward one another, strengthening bonds and emphasizing the idea that each person's success is the community's success. Through these practices, Mennonites live out a unique, values-driven life that sets them apart in a world increasingly focused on individualism and material success. Every never they uphold is not about restriction, but rather about making space for relationships, faith, and peace to flourish. The Mennonite way offers a powerful reminder that simplicity, unity, and shared purpose can lead to a deeply fulfilling life, one that thrives without the pressures and complexities of modern luxuries.